One time for the one time. All eyes on Georgia for the Senate race for the control of Congress. But we're playing the CNN Magic Wall drinking game. Hello, everyone. Every time John King says a candidate must run it up, that's in quotes, in a precinct, we take a shot. I'm sipping on Cavassier. You can have whatever aperitif is fine for you. But every time John King goes over to the magic wall on CNN and says, a candidate must run it up, that's your sign to take a sip. On today's episode, Rowe Price is upgraded. Nikhil Basu Trivedi's offers life perspective from his grandmother. Plus, in Carried Heavy, we'll check on the startups flexing on VC markets, Kyte, particularly in Chronosphere. Practically in Chronosphere. Shout out to everyone popping bottles and naming yachts today. Where are the builders? Who's launching startups that will shake the room, set the tone, create the agenda? I'm feeling it today. Are you prepared to carry heavy? I know I am. I'm doing some gratitude journaling. I'm buying Always Day One to read and reset my mindset. I'm signing up for new assignments, creating pitch decks as we speak. My mind is set to advance. I'm gleaning wisdom from Dr. Basu from Medium. The real estate investors, they call this grinding. The executive coaches, they call it aligning. I'm just a builder. Whatever you call it, be fair. What are you doing today to make your life better, to enhance your quality of life? Vision board it, manifest it, but make it happen. Feel it into being. In Clubhouse parlance, I'm going to drop so many gems today, you wouldn't even be able to fit them all into your pocket, right? Your phone won't have enough memory. It would max out your cloud storage to try to store all the gems that we are dropping here today. So, listen, I sure hope the insurance is up to date on your phone because we're going to rip it off. We're going to rip that screen off with all this wisdom packed in today's show. But first, let's reset the room. Welcome to Try Flourishing. If this is your first time here, sit back, grab an aperitif, and enjoy. You're getting ready to go on a journey unlike any other. I'm Omri. I'm in Los Angeles. Market check coming up in equities and crypto, plus the carried heavy list. But first, our location for today's show is set somewhere in the midst of Milan. Doesn't it feel so sophisticated walking down these cobblestone streets, seeing all these beautiful buildings, the history, the sophistication, the class of Milan? ROI on today's insight and gems dropped and vibes shared we're providing is 15.15%. Nicely done. Am I adding value for you? And be fair. Listen, you need to be fair. If I am adding value, if I am dropping gems on today's show, then you need to become a sponsor for one upcoming show. Why? Because here at Try Flourishing, I am trying to build a massive art collection so I can flex all over Christie's and Sotheby's, and you can help do it. So visit tryflourishing.org, become a sponsor for an upcoming episode. You name your price, but you also get to name what city we will use as a backdrop and the ROI on the wisdom gleaned. So let's reset the room. First, by grounding ourselves, taking a deep breath in, inhale, and release. We talk about money, but we also talk about our own personal growth. Equities. The Dow, it recovered most of the losses from yesterday, closing up 167 points to 30,391. S&P up 26 points to 3,726. NASDAQ up 120 points to 12,818. And the Russell up 4 points to 1,979. Visa, though, it was down 1.49% to $214. And Twitter was down today 1.19% to $53.88. Markets currently closed. As we shift over to crypto, which markets never sleep, markets have recovered. You thought that was a recovery yesterday in the equities, in the crypto space. Market cap currently up 6.1% to $933,552,748,251. BTC dominance currently sitting at 67.9%. ETH dominance at 13.3. GUI is 130 GUI for ETH gas. If you don't know what I mean when I say ETH gas, right? If you don't know what I mean when I say BTC or ETH dominance, you are missing something. You are out of alignment, even though you are a VC. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you are a marketer, if you don't know these terms, these will be entrenched in the future. Listen to me. Sometimes you may go, I don't get it. I don't understand it. That's what they said about the train. That's what they said about the automobile. And they said, I'm not getting on the train. I'm not going to fly in the plane. But listen, whether you choose to get on it or not, it is coming to town. The train is coming. You can try to stop it all you want and pretend it doesn't exist. Technology and innovation will come, and it will continue to iterate up. The buggy isn't coming back as much as you would like. Taking a deep breath in, inhale, and release. Goldman Sachs has upgraded its previous rating for T. Rowe Price, Inc., NASDAQ, symbol T. Rowe, from sell to neutral. Wait a minute. I thought, no, Goldman Sachs, they upgraded it. They upgraded it from sell to neutral. So T. Rowe Price has been upgraded just to neutral. T. Rowe Price Group, they earned $2.55 in the third quarter compared to $2.13 a year ago quarter. So up, even during the pandemic, their earnings are up. The stock has a 52-week high of 154 and a 52-week low of $82. And at the end of last trading, T. Rowe's price was $147.69, so nearing its 52-week high. All right, T. Rowe Price. And for the financial sector in general, they're starting to see some glimmers of hope, some signs. All right, taking a deep breath in, inhale. Reach up, reach high all the way into the sky, shoulders coming up to your ears, taking a nice big stretch, letting your fingertips reach for the sky, reach for your dreams, reach for your ambitions, reach for your hopes, and bring it all back down into your abdominal area. This is known as the Hara and Energy Garden. Just let your hand set right there, right on top of your stomach. Feel the vibration of your belly rising and falling, rising and falling. And release. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit into a little bit of inspiration from VC. So there I was, minding my own business, trolling through the Twitter streets. Looking for clues. Just looking, minding my own business, and like usual, inspiration leaps out to me. Right? Have you ever found yourself just on YouTube, just on Twitter, just trolling through social media, and you pass by the cat memes, and you pass through the jokes, and you pass by all this other stuff, right? Some distractions, and then you come up on a gem. Well, this gem that I came across today comes courtesy first from Lauren Kolodny. She's the founding partner of Accrue Capital, right? That's what it says in the bio. So there I was, came across this tweet from December 3rd, 2020. 20. And it read, and it had a quote, actually. It was a quote tweet from Nikhil Basu Trivedi's tweet from December 3rd. And she just added 2 hearts, right, to Nikhil Basu Trivedi's quote. And I'm going to share the quote that she quote tweeted, then share Nikhil's quote, and then share what Nikhil's quote linked to. And let me tell you, it may be illuminating for you. Provide a little bit of perspective right now. So Lauren Kolodny retweeted or quote tweeted this: I have come to the belief that qualities of mind are more important in life than doctrines, that feelings are more vital than formulas. In the ultimate analysis, what matters is how we behave and conduct ourselves. That was the end of the quote. And Lauren writes after that, like grandmother, like grandson. And she tags Nikhil Basu Trivedi. And Nikhil's quote that Lauren was quote tweeting writes this: life is beautiful, but alas, too short. I realize that life is so precious that every day lived is a gift, and one should learn to make the most of every moment. It continues. It's been 2 years since my grandma passed, but her words, our memories, and our love for her live on. Wow. Can't you just feel that? Did you just allow those words to just resonate? Did you just hear that exchange there? Did you just stand in the midst of it to just swim and bask in that right there? Because that was some clarity. That was some insight into the human condition, into life. That was humanity placed into a tweet. And I don't know if you quite got that. Life is beautiful, but alas, too short. I realize that life is so precious that every day lived is a gift, and one should learn to make the most of every moment. Nikhil was quoting his grandmother. Lauren was quoting Nikhil, who was quoting his grandmother. Nikhil linked to his grandmother's post on Medium. I'm going to share a little bit from that post. It starts, the following is an essay that my grandmother, Dr. Aparna Basu, wrote for her grandchildren in December 2006. My grandmother, who we children affectionately called Tima, led an extraordinary life. She was in the room on the eve of India's independence in 1947 for one of the country's most famous speeches, was one of the first few women from India who studied at the University of Cambridge in the early 1950s, met every president from Eisenhower to Albert Einstein when her father was India's ambassador to the US, rose up as an academic to become the head of the history department at the University of Delhi, led a volunteer organizations such as All India's Women's Conference, chaired the National Gandhi Museum, published over a dozen books on women's history and modern India history. Wow. What a life. What a life. And so there is a part of this essay that I want to share with you and see how it lands for you. This is from Dr. Basu. To me, peace of mind is very important. We cannot live in harmony with others unless we are at peace with ourselves. This is no metaphysical doctrine, but plain common sense. In order to achieve this peace of mind, we must not constantly hanker for things and expect too much from life. I have found that persons who do so are dissatisfied and unhappy. I do not expect too much from life, and I am grateful for whatever I have. Whenever I feel that someone has got some position or honor or something I may have wanted, I always count my own blessings. I have learned to cultivate a sense of proportion, which taught me a certain self-restraint, moderation, and even a sense of resignation about things which cannot be changed and have to be endured. Did you hear that? Allow that to land. Allow that to settle. Feel those words. Feel this statement. Just simmer with it for a moment. Don't move on. Don't rush off. Don't do what you normally do. Interrupt the cycle. Breathe and feel these words. Peace of mind is important. We cannot live in harmony unless we are at peace with ourselves. We must count our blessings. We must learn to cultivate a sense of proportion. We must have self-restraint and moderation. There are some things in life that must simply be endured. They must be faced. They must be dealt with. This is Dr. Basu's wisdom. This is insight into life. Sometimes we get caught up in what we want and what we desire that we miss out on the beauty and blessings and the abundance of what we hold, of what we share. We're so afraid to see ourselves that we miss out on the unfolding of our lives. But Dr. Basu reminds us we cannot live in harmony unless we are at peace with ourselves. For you and your organization, if there is conflict all around and you are wondering, why is there so much conflict? Why is there so much cases? You must start by looking within your own heart and see the division within your own heart and see the conflict within you. Because if you are not at peace with yourself, how can you be at harmony with someone else? The conflict starts from within. I'll reaffirm another of Dr. Basu's quotes. Over the years, I have come to believe that qualities of mind are more important in life than doctrines. Feelings are more vital than formulas. In the ultimate analysis, what matters is how we behave and conduct ourselves. Not that we profess or unicate. Our children and students learn by observing what we do, not by what we say, by what we practice, not by what we preach. And so how you live matters. And what you choose to pass on is not only about what you say verbally, but how you act. That there is some congruence there. Spend some time every day bringing your life back into balance, finding peace within your own heart, seeing areas of restraint and moderation, of choosing skillful ways to interact, of conducting yourself in an ethical manner. Whether you're building a business or launching a sales funnel, Whether you are creating a pitch deck or seeking investors, conduct yourself in an ethical fashion. That's what Dr. Basu is reminding us of. And for some of you today, perhaps this seems like a good quality to follow Dr. Basu's example. And perhaps write your own essay to your children, to your grandchildren, to your loved ones, about how you understood life, about how you see life. There's so much to be gained from sometimes looking back and seeing the clues that were left for us. And while the essay may not land so well today, perhaps one day it will. In your grandchild's moment of confusion, in your child's time of despair, that they have something to turn to. An essay, an insight, a wisdom, an understanding about life. So, that was Dr. Basu's wisdom on life. Let's take a moment to breathe in. Inhale. And release. Shifting gears. It's time to check on our carried heavy list. We're going to take a look at the tech startups who are flexing on venture markets. And we start today with New York coming through. Chronosphere. They have received $43 million in Series B funding to expand cloud native monitoring tools. CEO of Chronosphere is Martin Mao. He's also a co-founder. Rob Skillington is the co-founder and CTO. So, Chronosphere develops a scalable, reliable, and customizable monitoring solution built for cloud-native applications, Chronosphere. So I'm going to check out their website for all you marketers out there, see what we can glean, right? I know nothing about it. I'm seeing this for the very first time, just as you are. So we're just going to see how much I can glean and understand about what they do just from their home page, all right? So we go onto their page. Chronosphere loads. At the top, it's a action bar that says, with a yellow blinking dot, it says Chronosphere nabs $43 million in Series B to expand cloud native monitoring tool. See how we did it. So right there, you could tell just by the language that they're using, new, innovative language, right? Chronosphere nabs, right? Nabs. They're just alluding to the fact that it's kind of like modern and contemporary. They're not old and stuffy, right? They use that word nab, and then see how we did it. It's not click here, not learn more. See how we did it, right? It's this kind of active storytelling. It's very interesting, right? So Chronosphere, don't know about them, but I don't know what cloud native monitoring tool, but let's see if I can find out what that is. So it has their logo in their menu bar, their solutions product company. So right there, very minimalist. And then they have a request a demo in the upper right-hand corner. The language on the screen, it says true cloud native monitoring, scale reliably, and overages. Scalable, reliable, and customizable monitoring as a service purpose built for cloud native applications. And then request a demo. Now, I don't know what cloud native solutions are. I'm not in this space. I don't know what needs to be scaled, and I don't know what customizable monitoring is. But I'm not in this space, but let's see. We're going to get educated. And it says, neither cloud-hosted nor open source monitoring tools were designed for the complexity and scale of cloud-native apps. Companies need a solution that is scalable, reliable, and flexible, as the apps they monitor. Boom! That is the money shot. They dropped the hammer right there. They let you know what this is about. I get it. I got a glimpse. I understand. There is some clarity there. And it's very interesting, the visuals that they use to denote this. There are these array of dots, right? A tessellation, a pattern of dots all around. But within these dots, they've placed that text in just like this rectangular empty space, right? It's a negative space where they place the text surrounded by all these dots that are arrayed in a pattern, some of them at a larger and some of them a little smaller, and some of them add a gradation of color. It's very interesting. So they're almost painting this visual picture in this very minimalist way that they are the solution, right? That they are bringing clarity. And I instantly can understand from this statement what they're doing, because they're saying that many people or many companies, they'll just automatically reach for a cloud hosted or open host monitoring tool, right, for their app, right? If you have an app, you're like, you know what, let me just go on this cloud storage solution. Let me just go for that off the shelf, or let me go for this open source tool to monitor my app. But the reality is that your app, they're saying it probably needs scalable and one that matches the complexity of your app, because your apps are not all the same. Apps are different. They're built in different ways. And so you need something that can scale with your app, with its complexity. And so that's what they're doing. And it says companies need a solution that is scalable, reliable, and flexible as the apps that they monitor. Got it, got it, got it. And then it says solutions outgrowing Prometheus. Prometheus provided out-of-the-box monitoring for many cloud-native companies, but as they scale, they find themselves battling single point of failures, limited data retention, and wasted engineering time debugging monitoring issues. Boom, boom, boom. They outline problems that apps are having in an easy, succinct way right there in that paragraph, that people thought that, you know, this Prometheus, that it was okay, that it was fine, but what they found is that it was a time hog for engineers, right? So they're saying your app has probably outgrown Prometheus. Maybe Prometheus was the starting ground, maybe that was level 1, maybe that was, you know, division 3, but now it's time to go like all in, right? It's time to go pro, right? And so they're saying that at Chronosphere, they are pro, right? They are customizable and scalable. And that's the thing, right? Everything in tech is about scale, right? At scale. Because if you're all trying to reach a certain scale, then you have to have the tools that enable that growth to take place. And so that's pretty cool there. And they're adopting cloud native, and they talk about the benefits. So nicely done. I feel like Chronosphere is very fresh, right? It has a very fresh way of delivering, even though they're a serious company. They use interesting language, nabs, and see how we did it, right? It's very inviting, even though it's kind of complex what they're doing, right? But there's story and there's copy. It all makes it accessible, even for people who are not engineers and not super techy. So well done, Chronosphere. Let's take a deep breath in, inhale. And release. All right, next up in our carried heavy list, come through San Francisco with Kyte flexing on venture markets. $9 million in seed funding was raised from VCs, including FJ Labs, DN Capital, Contrary, and Amplo. People behind Kyte, let's see who's on the team. Co-founder is Nicholas Volk, and second co-founder is Ludwig Schnook. Let's go with that. Ludwig Schnook. I think that sounds about right. All right, so nicely done. Carried heavy today. We want to check out their website for all the marketing geeks in the room. We know that's what you like. So, okay, So let me paint this picture. I'm seeing the website for the very first time, just like you. So it starts. Okay. So Kyte is listed in the upper left-hand corner, green, all lowercase font, lime green. It gives very tech startup vibes. We know it. There's very minimalist. There's no words in the menu bar. They have the three lines that let you know that you can click it and open it for more. And when you click it and open it for more, it says book online, download iPhone app, FAQs, and call us. Right. So very minimalist way. The background image, it takes up the whole screen, right? It's an entire screen background image. It's of a city. I can't tell what city it is. It could be Boston. It gives me kind of like Boston vibes. Maybe it's San Francisco. It could be San Francisco. I don't know. It's some major cosmopolitan city by the water. That's what I can tell you. It is by the water. I'm going to guess it's San Francisco, right? Let me see if I see any Victorian buildings, right? It's not classic San Francisco. It's no Golden Gate Bridge, right? It's no Bay Bridge here. There's no bridges seen. But you can see that there is something across the waterway, right? That there's something on the other side. So don't know. Maybe it's Oakland. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. But it's a cool city, right? And the money shot, right? The thing that gives it a little bit of wow, a little pizzazz, is there is a Honda, not a Honda, but a Volkswagen, looks like a Passat, and it's has a parachute, right? It's a car parachuting, and it's two of them. Now that lets you know that there's a little bit of irreverence here. There's a little bit of fun here. That they're trying to communicate this idea that it is not just right. They are open. They are bright, right? They're trying new things, and so it says the easiest way to rent a car. Rental cars delivered to your doors. Boom, makes sense. Did you get that? Did you see how quickly it was that idea could be conveyed? That was 2 sentences. It was less than 2 sentences. That was a few words. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 words. So everybody has all these words trying to communicate this idea, but in 13 words, it was easily scannable. I could have read that in a moment and got it and understood it. It was not too complex. It was perfect. It says the easiest way to rent a car, rental cars delivered to your door. Boom. I need a rental car sometime, and I don't want to go to the airport to pick it up. I don't want to have somebody come pick me up. I want somebody to come drop this car off. Boom. You know how nice that is? That is solid. And so it has an easy box that says delivery address, return address, and then the date and the time. And it says check the price. So nice. And it says the longer you keep it, the better it gets. Special offer applied automatically. Up to 30% off 1 week, up to 35% off 2 weeks, up to 40% off 3 weeks. Wow, so they're building it in that you keep it longer. You know, at most rental car places, they want you back by a certain time, and if you don't get it back by that time, then they are getting ready to charge on the overages and penalties, right? It is not necessarily like this. Kyte is doing it a little differently, right? Well, way differently. They're like, keep it. We'll give you a discount. We'll give you the longer you keep it, the better the deal gets, right? That's gamifying it. That's making it cool. Somebody goes, you know what? I will keep it another day because I'll get a discount on it, right? That is great. That's a great way to build up loyalty, right? To build a buy-in. It says how it works. Tell us where and when. And then we deliver your kite, and then we fill it up for you, and then we pick it up. Oh my God, they are making this effortless. They are making this seamless. I'm like, where do I sign up? I want to do this. The next time I need to rent a car, I don't want to have to go through and go make it to the place and try to get there on time, and they go through all these. I need to have all these different forms filled out, and then they upsell you on the insurance, and do you really want this insurance, or do you want the really, 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 really good insurance, or do you want to decline this and sign here if you decline this, right? They make it so complex and so hard, and then they're thinking about the penalties if you don't return it and you don't fill it up, and are you sure you don't want to fill it up? That's exhausting. Kyte is making it easier. That's what they're saying. When I see this, I am seeing this is easy. This is simple, right? This is fun because they have cars being parachuted in, right? That is fun. And so it's very cool. They have, then it kind of goes into, yes, it was San Francisco because it says, wait a minute, maybe it was Boston because it says our cities, and it has San Francisco, LA, Boston, Washington, D.C. So all of those are by the river. It didn't really give me Washington, D.C. vibes. I don't know if it definitely didn't give me LA vibes. I'm going to guess it was San Francisco. I'm going to guess it was San Francisco. It could have been Boston though, but I don't know. If anyone is a representative for Kyte, I need you to tweet me and let me know what city this is on this homepage. I need to know because I don't know and I'm curious. I'm just curious about this. Somebody out there has to know what city is on the homepage of this Kyte website. Go to drivekite.com and you let me know. This isn't an ad. I just want to know what city this is that the cars are parachuting in on, right? Nicely done, Kyte, for keeping it simple. Great, 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 great. All right, taking a deep breath in, inhale. And release. Checking this one out, this is practically from India. Hyderabad is coming through, practically flexing on VC markets. They've raised $4 million in Series B from Your Nest Venture Capital, Sienna Capital Management, and Xfinity Venture Partners. Let's see who the leads are. Founder and CEO Subaro Sibatula and Ilan Grove Tulsamin is the co-founder and CTO. So what is Practically doing? Practically is an ed tech platform that focuses on STEM learning through 3D, AR, VR, and MR educational tools. Interesting. So let's check out Practically's website, practically.com. And it starts practically upper left-hand corner, menu bar, doubt us, ask us. Oh, wait, doubt, ask us. Oh, that's cool. That's clever. Then it says live, and then it says coding plus plus, pricing, login, 3 dots. And there in the upper right is, are you a teacher? Right, so that's the pool. Like if you're a teacher, click there. And so it says, it has a red background, looks like graph paper with various mathematical and scientific elements, right? They have a genome on it, and they have a Pythagorean theorem on it, and they have a nucleus on it, and a pie chart, and it says in their text, practically speaking, we're not yet another online learning app. No one understands your child's learning needs better. Oh, well, it's cool, but it's kind of scrolls, so it's scrolling a bit fast for me to get it all, right? So let me try this again. No one understands your child's learning needs better than us. We promise, right? So I would just slow it down just a little bit so I can read it. But it is only loose between those two texts, but that's cool. And you can tell they're like, okay, they're being practical about it. They're like, we can do this, we can work with you. And so it says, learning is fun. Studying is boring, but learning is fun. Your child may be scoring an A grade, but he or she applying the concepts learned in real life. If the answer is no, then you're putting your child on the right path. We at Practically believe that enabling an experience for students from classes 6 to 12 that makes learning seem fun, engaging, and interactive. In other words, we've got their back. And so it says 3 million plus students have trusted us, 30,000 plus students, dreams fulfilled, trusted by top schools and parents globally. And so right there, they're showing you, they wrote the copy for the parents. They know they're speaking to their parents, and they're speaking to the hopes of their parents that their kids are struggling, right? Maybe the kids think that everything is super duper boring in all of these online learning. Maybe they're not engaged with these Zooms, right? They're detached. They're not having the social interaction. So they're speaking to them that they're trying to make it a little more interactive, right? A little more engaging so that students feel like they want to learn, right? To add some fun back into the learning process. And so it's very cool, very cool, very cool. So thinking about that, sometimes who it's for is not who the copy is to, right? Practically, the service is for the children, the service is for the student, but they write the copy. They're addressing the parent. They're saying your student, your child, right? They're speaking to the emotional pull of the parent. So sometimes if you have a service that is for someone else, but someone else is going to be buying it, you got to write it for the person that's going to be buying the service, right? You address it to them, filling their emotional needs. So it's a good lesson from Practically. All right, well done. Nicely done. Taking a deep breath in, inhale. And release. What a show, right? What a show. Can you believe that? Listen to me. We dropped some major gems today. If you felt that, then you need to become a sponsor of Try Flourishing, an upcoming show, because we are going to flex, right? We are going to flex when we build this art collection. Be fair, right? We're going to build a digital art collection. We're going to build a contemporary art collection, an emerging art collection, right? We need to flex on them. And the only way we can do that is through you, the listeners of Try Flourishing, right? So get at me. Be fair. Let's do this. Let's meditate. Taking a deep breath in, inhale. And release. Inhale. And release. Remembering the wisdom of Dr. Basu. Over the years, I have come to believe that qualities of mind are more important in life than their doctrines, that feelings are more vital than formulas. In the ultimate analysis, what matters is how we behave and conduct ourselves. To me, peace of mind is very important. We cannot live in harmony with others unless we are at peace ourselves. I've always counted my blessings. I've learned to cultivate a sense of proportion, which has taught me a certain self-restraint, moderation. As you go through your life this week, be watchful and mindful of areas of excess, overindulgence. Find a way to navigate yourself back to this space of proportion, right? Even in your thought life, you may often catastrophize things. Bring some proportion to it in your emotional life, some proportion to it in the boardroom, some proportion to it. This is wisdom. This was a gem. Taking a deep breath into CLR practice, inhale. And release. Thank you for joining me for this Try Flourishing. I will see you back here next time. Live it up. Ciao.